GOODJOB, good job, good job. I said GOODJOB, good job, good job. Keith L. Brown, Mr. Impossible here, also known as Uncle Keith, and I'm delighted, ignited, and excited to be on the premier platform for everything positive HBCU. Historically Black sense, Black brilliance, Black excellence, Black culture. You need to be following Historically Black Sense right now. This is an evening of motivation, elevation, education, transformation, celebration, and then implementation. We're talking about leadership and mental health, mental illness, leadership, mental health, mental wellness, right here at Historically Black Sense. And y'all, I didn't come alone. But I do want y'all to understand each and every day. I want y'all to say, I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm a genius. What? I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm a genius. And I have some great leaders from some great HBCUs in the house, and they come into the platform right now as we dive into tonight's conversation. Let's get it. Yeah!
Let's get it.
I'm so hyped to have this dignified young man of excellence, this promising princess and young woman of excellence. First of all, go ahead, ma'am, go ahead. Unmute yourself, promising princess. Tell them a little bit about yourself right now.
Hey, well, greetings. I am Kennedy Maxwell, and I am a junior political science major, philosophy minor, attending the illustrious Tuskegee University, where I serve as the secretary for the 67th Executive Student Government Association.
Wow. Yes. GOODJOB. Good job. Good job. Yeah. All right. What's up, young man of excellence? Introduce yourself.
Well, greetings, everyone. My name is Jaquavius Doucette. I am a senior majoring in communications with a minor in criminal justice from Orlando, Florida, and I attend Prairie View A&M University, serving as the 44th Student Government Association president and the 20th student regent for the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents. And I'm excited to be here with y'all tonight.
Wow. GOODJOB. Good
job. Good job.
Yeah, well, guess what? You all are proud to be here, but we're even more proud to have you because you all are leading in a very, very difficult climate. The culture and climate in America, the culture and climate in the world is very difficult. We've seen HBCUs come under attack recently, and we've just seen so much, and you all are so excellent and resilient. You know, I am so proud of just both of you for being here tonight, and it has been said, if you're a leader and no one's following, you're just taking a walk. If you're a leader and no one's following, you're just taking a walk. What are some traits that make an effective leader that's worthy of following? What are some traits, okay? What are some traits that make an effective leader who is worthy of being followed? Kennedy, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, so I think the first thing a leader should have, a good trait, is a servant's heart. As a leader, you're here to serve. Granted, you might be seen, you might be put on a pedestal, but you're here to represent the people that either elected you or appointed you into office. So I think having a heart for service is one of the first and might be the most important thing that you need. And additionally, I think somebody who isn't afraid of being teachable. A lot of times leaders, people don't realize it, but we're learning as we go as well. We don't have it all figured out. So I think a leader who's teachable, who can take criticism, who can move on it. I think those are two things that a leader has to have to be effective. And of course, being authentically yourself. People can see through it when you're not being yourself. So just staying true to who you are and leading the way that you know how to lead. I think those three things are what you need to be an effective leader.
Wow, that's powerful. I love that. Authenticity. I love that. All right. Yes. Quavius, what do you have for us tonight? What do you have if you're a leader? You're a leader. What traits? What are some traits that make an effective leader who's worthy of being followed?
Yeah. I think first of all, her trait that she said, servant leader heart is the biggest thing, right? For me. The second thing is you have to be willing to follow as well. You have to be willing to meet your constituents and meet your base that you're serving where they're at. It's very difficult for me to say I want to lead someone and someone on my team gives me advice and say I think you should do it this way, and I say no, this is my show, I'm going to run it, right? I have to be willing to adjust myself, adjust my leadership skills and traits in order to meet the team effort as well. So I think being able to follow as well is plays a part in that. Another thing, next thing I would say is being compassionate. I think you have to be a compassionate leader. You have to show compassion and empathy towards those that you serve. Regardless of how hard the issues are, whatever problem you're solving, you have to realize that number one, you're a servant leader. And you need to serve with compassion. So I think all of those are great traits of leadership.
Wow, y'all. Come on, y'all. I'm going to keep rocking that GOODJOB. Good job. Good job. See, those are some answers that not only are applicable at HBCUs, but on a universal level. You got corporate leaders that should have heard your answers, educational leaders, all right, political leaders, political science major that should have heard those powerful answers. And I can tell that you too are servant leaders. Let me ask you this. How important is it to manage yourself? How important is it to effectively manage yourself before you can effectively manage the organization? How important is it for you to effectively manage yourself before you can effectively manage the organization? I'm going to you, JD.
This is the biggest question, right? How can I pour into others when I'm not full myself, right? I can't pour my cup out into other people and serve others if I'm not full myself. I mean, I serve in two capacities. I serve a capacity on campus, and I serve in a system-wide capacity. So I'm serving my campus of 10,000 plus students, but I'm also serving 12 universities in the state of Texas. And so, I mean, prior to joining this interview today, I was in a whole different city in the state. I flew to our SGA meeting, but the fact is, I have to know what I can take. There's times where, like, I can't make a meeting. I'm like, I can't make it. I can't make it today. And there's times where I have to understand that as a leader, I have to say, take a break and know that you just can't make it. But you have to know that about yourself. If you're a leader that you're just leading, you don't know anything about yourself. You don't know when you're stressed. You don't know when you're going through, mental health issues. Those are really important factors. You have to know yourself in order to lead. And you can't pour into others if you're not pouring into yourself. So for me, I have to find those things. I have to find my friends. I have to find my circle that I can confide in, I can vent to so that I'm able to serve the student body in the best capacity. Because if not, how can I expect to be the best SGA president on campus if I'm not good myself? If I'm going through my own things, my own personal issues, and I can't serve the student body, then maybe I should really realize I need to take a break and let my team take over. And so you have to realize that as a leader as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was poignant, man. That was powerful. I'm sitting here just like overwhelmed looking at you because I met you when you were in middle school. I met you when you were in middle school.
Yes.
Right? I met you in middle school, and I could see a light in you then. You were a leader then in middle school, and it just transcended into your leadership at Prairie View A&M University and the entire Texas system.
The entire Texas A&M University system. So we're a system of 165 plus thousand students. I'm appointed by the governor for a 1-year term. So we had a board meeting last week. So I was going from campus for 1 week. We really set and make policy for all of our universities in the system. And so Prairie View happens to be the only HBCU in the system, in the Texas A&M University system. We have schools in Kingsville, Corpus Christi, really across the state, in multiple cities across the state. And so fairly enough, I'm on campus, off campus, serving in the SGA capacity. And then sometimes I have to take my hat off and say, hey, you know what? I have to report to our president as a regent. When I report to the president as a regent, you're obviously the person that oversees the president. Our job is to we hire presidents, we approve buildings, we approve the budgets for fiscal years for all of universities. And so I had to be able to switch my hat sometimes and take it on, put my regent hat on, put my SGA president hat on when I'm talking to administration, when I'm talking to the university faculty and staff, simply so they know which role I'm speaking in regards to. So yeah, it's a fun day. We met back in. Man, I was in middle school. I remember I was in 8th grade. I was SGA president that year in 8th grade too. So I never thought I'd be SGA president in college, in a whole entire different state, because we was in Orlando, Florida then. So I mean, you moved thousands of miles, and I'm in Texas now. So look how time passed. It's amazing.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you, young man of excellence. I have to say that. I guess what? The view is large when you're at Prairie View. Okay, remember that. The view is large when you're at Prairie View. And Kennedy, this is something, Kennedy, because you have these people that they want to manage the organization, they want to manage everyone else, but they're not managing themselves. So how important is it for a leader to first manage him or herself before they can effectively manage the organization. Talk to me about that, Tuskegee Tiger, Golden Tiger. How about that?
Yes, golden.
I got to get it right because I'm a Savannah State University alum. I'm a Savannah State University Tiger, but I'm an ambassador for all HBCUs, so I want to get it right. Do you understand?
Yes.
I want to get it right. Come on, Kennedy. Yeah.
I would say managing yourself is very important. Like you said, as a leader, we are pulled in so many different directions. So I think one of the most important things is knowing when to say no. Sometimes you have to say no because if I say yes to so many things, am I actually affecting change in these areas? So I think, being selective with the opportunities you choose to take, with the meetings that you choose to take, anything like that, and knowing when to take a break, being honest with yourself. I think a lot of us, we feel so much pressure in student leadership because we feel like, oh, the student body's depending on me to do this. I have to do this. I have to be there at this time. Da, 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 da. And it's just like, sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, I need a moment. I need a break. And that's okay because I need that to be my best self for the people that I'm serving. So I think just being honest with yourself and also knowing when to say no to some things so that you can give your best, because that's what your job is to do, is to give your best to your student body. So, yeah.
Man, I still remember the times I couldn't say no. I remember the times I said yes to everything. And now I'm like, I can't make it. I'm sorry. I can't make it. So.
Literally.
And it feels good. It feels good when you say something, when you tell no, when you get a little no in, sometimes it helps you out. It helps you out. So
definitely does.
It's really good.
Come on, y'all. Keep it rolling. I'm loving it. I love the way you all just jumped in. I love the way you're just jumping in and you're chiming in. I'm loving this passion. And I want y'all to remember this passion, PASS -I-on. Pass I on.
Okay.
Remember that. Pass I on. You understand? Pass I on. You have to understand that whatever you're passing I on, everybody else is going to gravitate towards it or they're going to run from it. So self-management is so important. Being disciplined is so important. Living your creed is so important. And you all outlined that in such a great manner tonight, man. Listen, I can't wait to come to y'all campuses and get hyped with y'all. You understand?
We can't wait to host you. We can't wait to host you. Let me know when you want to come out. We can't wait to
you already know what it is. You already know what it is, y'all. So listen, I'm so excited, but I need to know this because both of you are great leaders, all right? And you have these titles and you have these roles, and so you're great leaders. That's obvious. How important is it to involve your team members' gifts and talents and not try to be a one-person show?
Man.
Okay? How important is it for you as leaders to utilize your team members' gifts and talents? Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. For me, that's actually one thing I'm really big on, right? How do I delegate some of these tasks? Not only tasks, but use the talent. Number one, I appointed a lot of people to my administration. Some people applied, some people also was ran and got elected, right? So the fact that you're in the 44th administration, that's what we call it. We have the 44th legacy administration here at Prairie View A&M. The fact that you're in that administration, it already says a lot about the talent that you come with. I'm very big on student-driven leadership. If you're not down for the students, if you're not down to ride and work late for the student body, if you're not down to like stay up extra hours to prove for student body, that's someone that's not made for my administration, right? And I have to make that very clear when I put my applications out. So I know exactly what talent I was looking for. And I mean, it's the biggest thing, serving in 2 capacities across the state and my campus. There's times where I'm just not here, right? And I have to rely on my team. I've been in some administrations where you have some SGA presidents, they ran every single thing. They did everything on their own. But I realized that you cannot do that alone, right? We have the office of the president. I have my own special assistant, special counsel. We have a chief of staff. We have a vice president of athletics, vice president of administration, right? Everyone is made for something. My job is to communicate with Dr. LeGrand, our university president. The vice president's job may be to communicate with the vice president of business affairs. It's impossible for me to meet with the university president and go meet with the vice president of business affairs at the same time. So I have to rely on my team to go into that room, go into that meeting, bring our agenda and say, hey, this is what the 44th administration goals is, right? But one thing I love about the team is that we have an end goal. Our end goal is student success, our end goal, whatever that goal is for the platform we ran off of. The only thing I care about is you manage to get that goal done. Obviously, we come from different majors, different classifications. We're different genders. Sometimes we're different classifications as well. And so it's about what kind of sauce are you going to add to the pot. You have to add your own seasonings and stir it up, and we make a great meal. And that's how I look at my team, right? My team, they know to bring their own way, their own unique perspective to the board and use that. There's times where I'm like, if I say, hey, we need to have a tabling event inside the student center. The tabling event need to be around midterms. All I need to know is that you have a table. We have a midterm table out there, right? But it's up to you to decide what's going to be on the table, what the table will look like. I'm gonna leave that to my team members to decide that. But the end goal is that we need a table in MSC to table, and let's get it done. So I allow them to do that part. I allow them to do that because if I did it myself, I mean, the team will be very, very discouraged. You're gonna feel like, what am I doing in this position? Why am I here? Why am I even in SGA if I can't do no work? You know, I would want to quit. I would leave fast if I'm not doing work. I want to be used. And so my team, I make sure I use my team, and I think they do a great job. Sometimes there's social media posts that come on Instagram on the PV page that I don't even realize that was coming out, you know? So that's how great my team is. They post, they get things done, they show up to meetings, and they do their part. And so I'm grateful to have an amazing team, and I know I can't do this alone. So shout out to PVMU SJ 44th administration team. I'm so grateful for y'all, for real.
Yeah, man. Look here, I'm about to jump out my seat, y'all. I don't know. I'm about to jump out my seat because I'm loving that. Kevin Napier out there. Kevin Napier is about to jump out his seat as well. He said it's all about synergy, y'all. He said it's all about synergy. He said y'all both dropping some synergy. Y'all dropping some gems. Y'all dropping some nuggets. There's fire all over the place, y'all. I'm telling y'all, there's fire on here tonight with Prairie View A&M University and the Tuskegee University and the Prairie View. That's what I'm saying. This is what it's all about. Historic Tuskegee, historic Prairie View, where we have a young man and young lady of excellence in the building doing a GOODJOB. Good job, good job. Kennedy, talk to us about how important it is for leaders to include their team members and to exercise their team members' gifts and talents. Talk to us.
It's extremely important. Transparent moment. I also serve as the president of the NAACP on my campus.
Okay.
So like learning that art of delegation, it's been a struggle for me because a lot of times I'm so used to, okay, I got to get this done myself, blah, 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 blah. But like, I have a team, like they're there to help me to get things done. So I have to trust that they're going to do their job. I wouldn't have put them in the position, and SGA wise, I wouldn't have been put in the position to do the work if, you know, my president didn't trust me. So I think it's just trusting that they're going to get the job done, because just like you have a job to do, they also have a job to do. So by impeding their job, trying to put your own stuff in there, that's how mess gets created. That's how mess happens, and we don't want mess, we want success. All right. So I think just by the art of delegation and really just trusting your team members, because they're here for a reason. They're here to do the work just as much as you. If they wouldn't be here if they weren't as passionate about it as you. So once you realize that and take a moment and really sit down and think about that, then it'll become easier to delegate those tasks and to actually get stuff done.
First of all, I think you need to go ahead and hashtag success.
We don't want mess. Yeah, we don't want mess. We want success.
Over mess. You can use that. Y'all got that from Uncle Keith, right? Success over mess. Kennedy just dropped it, y'all. Kennedy just dropped it. Hey, take me through there. Take me through there. Yeah. I'm loving that. She said success over mess. All right. And my nephew over there, JD, I just say JD because he's justified and determined. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. Do you understand? Yeah. What one for Kennedy too? Yeah. Kennedy is what? Knowledgeable and motivated. So that's what I'm talking about. This is who you have on the platform.
Thank you.
Right. Historically Black Sense, the premier platform for everything HBCU brilliance, Black brilliance, so much. Black culture, everything. And look, I'm challenging you all as leaders to make sure that everybody on your campus and in the greater community is following historically Black sense, okay? I'm going to charge you all with that. Talking about delegation, I'm going to delegate that, okay? Because I can't micromanage. I can't get everybody to follow this platform. But guess what? With your efforts, it's definitely going to happen. So listen.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us, so too.
Yeah. Oh, man, look. Yes. We're grateful to have you. We're grateful. We're grateful to have you because you represent not just the future, but the present. You represent the present, and I hear you. And I'm watching your body language. I'm watching. Look, all right, Kennedy is sitting up straight, shaking her head, and you rocking back and forth. It's like you can't wait to jump in the ring. And that's what we have to have in the Black community. We deserve to have young Black excellence like yourselves. You are a genius. And people often ask me, well, Uncle Keith, why am I a genius? Because there's a gene in us. There's a gene in us, and that gene is called greatness. And with that being said, there's a lot of pain going on your campuses right now. There are a lot of individuals on your campuses who are publicly balling, but they privately falling. Okay. And even as leaders, there are times when you get overwhelmed. So let me ask you this. We know mental health is important. We know mental illness is important. I've spoken at mentees' funerals who've committed death by suicide, for example. You know, there's a weight right now going on at HBCUs and in the country as a whole. But somehow in the Black community, we shy away from talking about mental health. Somehow we shy away from getting help. So as leaders, how do we reduce the negative stigmas of mental health at HBCUs and in the Black community as a whole? How do we reduce the stigma associated with mental health on HBCU campuses and in the Black community as a whole? Kennedy, I'm going to start with you.
Well, I know one thing that my SGA administration does. We've started this monthly wellness fair where every, like, maybe it's a Friday out of every month, one Friday out of every month, we focus on a different topic. I think this past month was focused on men's mental health. So we had people from our counseling center come out and just talk about the resources. So I think a big thing of destigmatizing mental health is just by talking about it. I think it's been such a big taboo in the Black community because historically we haven't been allowed to talk about our mental health. It's always just been a keep your head down and keep working and keep moving. But, sometimes we're not okay. And we have the freedom and the ability not to be okay. And I think it's just been so, I don't want to say, I think it's just because we've been taught to just keep moving, like keep going. It could be worse, keep going. But, sometimes you just have to, like I said earlier, be honest with yourself and say, hey, I'm not okay right now. And it's okay to not be okay. So I think the biggest thing when it comes to, making it more accessible is just talking about it more and giving people more information, because a lot of people aren't exposed. Like, I was talking to a lot of people at the fair, and some of them were saying this was their first time kind of hearing some of this stuff about mental health. So I think just talking about it and not being judgmental, I think talking about just being open and free, I think that's a great first step to take when it comes to destigmatizing mental health in the Black community.
Wow, I love that. I love the fact that you all are implementing at Tuskegee University the wellness fair, mental health fair, the resources, giving everyone resources. And I think that's so very important. And I believe that's something that should expand, even at Tuskegee University, having a mental health day, where no one's going to class. You understand that you're sitting around in buildings and y'all in these no judgment zones where you all are just sitting around talking to each other. JD, I call that wow. Wow Wednesdays. That's what I call it. Wow Wednesdays. You know what WOW stands for? Worthy of wellness. Worthy of wellness. Y'all can hashtag that. Okay. Wow Wednesdays. Worthy of wellness. Let them know Uncle Keith told you with historically Black sense. Wow Wednesdays. And so I love the wellness fair. And Kennedy, I want your administration to think about that. Think about how you can work with the administration to have, periodically a mental health day where classes are, watch this, classes are canceled, but the lesson is still being learned. Did you hear what I said? Classes are canceled, but the lesson is still being learned. Because at the end of the day, we have to protect your peace of mind and spirit as scholars of Prairie View A&M and Tuskegee University, right? So we do that through what? Those mental health days where not just the scholars on campus, but the entire Tuskegee family will come together. The entire Prairie View A&M family will come together. Whatever your HBCU is right here in America, those WOW Wednesdays, for example, Worthy of Wellness Wednesday, and other days where classes are canceled, but the learning still continues. And we're more focused on our mental health than anything else, because the mind cannot function when the mental health is being minimized. The mind cannot function at maximum capacity when the mental health is being minimized and our scholars are oppressed suppressed, repressed, and depressed. So I'm proud of what you all are doing at the Tuskegee University, and I know you're going to expand that. Nephew, JD, what you got, man? Talk
Yeah,
to us.
I mean,
Why is there a
definitely,
stigma?
yeah.
The stigma, talk to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big topic, right? I think the first thing is honestly, number one is realizing that the stigma does exist, right? We have to be realistic about that. This does exist. We are afraid to get help. We are afraid to get a therapist. We are afraid to say, well, I want to talk to someone. We have to acknowledge the fact that that is, right? I mean, for myself, I mean, you mentioned someone of your mentees, death by suicide. I mean, I had the same thing happen here on campus maybe just 2 weeks ago. So my heart is fairly still heavy regarding that situation. But to realize that, you never know what someone is going through every single day. So I had to live my life with an intention. Here on campus, we have mental health support. We have 24-hour mental health support through our TELUS app. We have an app on campus that students can go to get mental counseling if the health center is closed. We have on-campus therapists as well. And so then we have all-around healthcare, the mental health support, right? But again, we have to realize that we do need this stuff. I mean, some students will not even go to the services. Some students won't even go to the therapist that's on campus. And so the fact that we have to realize that we need to find someone that's talk to, it's okay not to be okay. We're human. And number one is I live my life by an example as a leader. As a leader, I know I get overwhelmed sometimes. So I'll be honest, my team, we check in all the time and say, how you doing? If I'm not doing good today, I'm not doing good today, right? And it's okay for me to share that because I mean, someone else would not want to open up to you if you're not opening up to them. And I think it's very important for me to live my life with attention. So when I'm saying good afternoon, how you doing? Everyone normally walk past and say, I'm doing good, right? When I say, well, I'm not, well, I'm not doing good. And they're like, what you mean you're not doing good? And, you're always busy. You're perfect. No, I'm not perfect. And so sometimes you have to be that person that opens up to other people so they can open up to you as well. So I'm very intentional about letting someone know when I'm having a day. If I'm having a day today, come sit down and talk to me. I'm having a day. I just need somebody to talk to. Can you give me 5 minutes of your time, right? And so I think when students see me do that as a leader, when students see me be vulnerable, when students see me experience my own personal issues and share that with the student body and share that with those who come across me, they're more likely willing to share themselves and open up themselves as well in as a safe space. And so I think the first thing is realizing that this does exist. I mean, on our campus as well, we do have a mental health day. We have a mental health day on campus, but I mean, students like, oh, it's a no class day. We got no class day. I'm finna go party. I'm about to go have some fun, right? I mean, obviously do whatever it is for you to help you with your mental health. But realistically, understanding that you should take time to yourself. We have a mental health day. During that day is no classes, but throughout the time we have massages that come on campus. We have like a petting zoo that come on campus. We have different events on campus throughout the mental health day to where you can go and get therapy. You can go and have a spa on campus. Those things is very important. I mean, so we have the mental health day, we have the app, we have therapists on campus, we have health services, but we still need students to realize that it's okay not to always be the strongest one in the room and go seek help if you need it.
Wow. I'm loving this. And I definitely want to keep the conversation rolling along because you don't realize tonight, just by what the two of you just said, guess what? Somebody was set free tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody decided that they wanted to live tonight by your enthusiasm, your passion, your comments. As I think about the mental illness and the stigmas, and Kennedy talked about it. Kennedy, you talked about it when you said we grew up with people always telling us to be strong. Well, Uncle Keith wants you to know you can't be strong all the time. You can't be strong all the time. And I want to give y'all 3 words out there that you definitely need to live by when it comes to your mental health: release, relax, and restore.
Restore.
Yeah, release, relax, and restore. Real men do cry. As a man, I cry. I have a good cry every day. I have a good laugh every day because life is heavy. And sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. So you got to get that release. If you got to scream in that pillow on those HBCU campuses, that's what you got to do. You release. And when you relax, you get in a place of oneness. Get in a place of oneness that nephew JD talked about, that awesome SGA president at Prairie View A&M University, that sensational secretary Kennedy over there at the Tuskegee University talked about the fact that you don't have to just put your head down and keep going. Sometimes you have to release, relax, get in a place of oneness, a place of silence and serenity where you can just be, where you can just give yourselves permission. Watch this. Give yourselves permission to feel and to heal. Give yourselves permission to feel and to heal, and then restore. That's when you build yourselves back up. And you can't just build yourself back up alone. You got to build yourself back up with your tribe, your community. Let me ask you a question. How important is it to stay out of the company of negative people when it comes to protecting your mental health? How important is it for you to detoxify your life. You know, people are detoxifying their lives with all these pills and lotions and potions and all of that, right? But how important is it for you to detoxify yourself from being around negative people in order to protect your mental health? And when I said that, Kennedy was about to jump through the room. So Kennedy, I'm gonna let you start off with that one. Go ahead.
Because I've had that experience of being around people who just drain you. Like, you leave conversations feeling drained. And like, I had to take a moment to realize I'm not supposed to leave conversations feeling depleted. I'm not, you're supposed to add, you're supposed to kind of encourage me as I go. That's what friendship is supposed to be, or even just regular relationship with people. So I think it's very important to really, granted, just understanding compartmentalizing people, right? Like, I might have to work with you, but that doesn't mean I have to necessarily be your friend and see you on the outside of this. So, those people who aren't, the best for your mental health, who kind of bring, a cloud around with them all the time, sometimes you got to be like, okay, I'll only deal with you in this instance. And then just find people, surround yourself with people who add to your life, who encourage you, who pour into you. Because as student leaders, we do pour out so much. So having a solid group of people who pour back into you, like, I love my friends. I love my mama. Listen, I will call my mom at the drop of a dime. I'll be like, Queen, I said, I need to talk to you, because the day I've had, and she just really pours back into me. So community is extremely important when it comes to being in leadership and mental health in general. Even if you're not a leader, having a strong community around you, that oftentimes can make or break you. So that makes the difference. So yes, honey, you gotta let them negative Nancy's go. You gotta let them go, because they will bring you down.
Ooh, I love that. Take me through there. Take me through there. I had to do that again. Like, man. And Janie Wright Smith is about to do backflips in her home. She said that's very important. I felt her energy just by the way she wrote. Very important. So I felt her energy, man. Oh wow, that's Kennedy. That's so powerful.
That was really
JD, you're around so many people. All right. I'm talking about on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I saw you in Texas A&M Stadium one time with the Aggies. I saw you represent Prairie View A&M, the entire, educational system in the state of Texas there. And listen, the governor appointed you. So you got people coming at you from this way, that way. Man, what about those negative people, though? What do those negative people do to your mental health?
Well, it's funny because when I was on the campaign trail for SGA president, little history, I ran 4 campus elections at Prairie View and lost all 4 except SGA president. So SGA president was the only campaign I actually won on campus. And so for me, one of my friends had taught me, well, I have a very small group of friends anyway, but I'm very social. Everyone knows me, like you just said, right? What I got into a room and someone told me the more you elevate, the smaller your circle gets. The more you elevate, the smaller your circles get. So I've already realized that I'm gonna lose people regardless, right? My friends know how I am, but I have friends that joke a lot. Me and my friends who laugh, we play argue, we have fun together. And there's times where I'm just might be having a day and I don't feel like play arguing. There's times where I don't want to go back and forth. I get up and walk out. I think people understand me good enough and well enough that sometimes I just can't. I'm not gonna put up with it. And when it comes to negative energy, negative people, I can't surround myself around those. I represent the state of Texas. I represent the governor of the state and students across the state. So number one is I can't put myself in bad rooms anyway. But no, honestly, when I am around those people that seem to be negative, I get up and walk out. I have no issue with getting up and walking out, knowing that I'm walking out for a great purpose. Everyone knows my heart. I'm kind. I'm a sweet person. But when I'm about my business, I'm gonna get up and leave if I have to. And that's simply what I do. I just get up and walk out. And I walk out with a smile too. You'll text me later on, what happened? Why you just walked out in the middle of the conversation? I'm sorry, I'm letting you know I was protecting my peace. And I think people understand that. If they don't understand it, then you wasn't for me anyway. So I think my people understand. Like when I'm walking out, Coy, he's done. He's genuinely done. There's times where I went on a trip with a group of my friends. There's times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get in an Uber by myself and I'll meet y'all there. I just need time to decompress. Like my friends know I need decompressing times. If I'm just coming from a meeting, walking into my office and someone's following me to want to talk to me, they know I need a good 30 minutes to myself to decompress before they come in my office to come vent. So I think I communicate that with people, but people know that if Quay walking out, then it's for a purpose and he ain't just walking out. So I walk out to protect my peace, and that's what I do, and I do it with a smile. So
wow, I love that. You said protect your peace and do it with a smile. Don't be guilty, right? Don't be guilty about protecting your peace. Wow. Qualified Quay said he gets up And he walks out with
Man,
a
I get up and
smile.
walk out. My
With a
friends text me,
smile.
you were so wrong for that. You was wrong for that. No, you was wrong for what you did. And I'm gonna tell you about yourself later on after I
Yeah.
decompress. So.
Yeah. Come on now. Listen, you and Kennedy, man. Listen, the synergy that y'all have tonight here at Historically Black Sense is amazing. Historically Black Sense is the premier platform for everything HBCU and Black brilliance, Black excellence, Black culture. Historically Black Sense enhances the mental health of others. So let me say this now. How important is it with mental health that your fellow peers, and let me say colleagues, all right, I'm gonna put y'all in that realm, your colleagues on campus, how important is balance for them? Because we're about to come up on finals, right? In the next couple of weeks, you're going to be having finals. And how important is it to have balance in order to protect your mental health? Talk to me about the importance of balance as it relates to mental health. And Quay, I'm gonna go back to you for that one first. Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, a lot of people. So I'm a peer mentor here on campus as well. And so I get to mentor a lot of freshmen, incoming freshman males that come across campus. I'm on my third cohort now. Normally they come in as 102 freshman boys, and so really there's so many people that reach out all the time. How you balance it? You were just somewhere else and you made it back to campus. How you do this, right? I think the first thing I tell them is prioritize. What is your priorities, right? If I'm SGA president, I'm student regent, and I realize what my priorities are. Number one, student regent, I'm working for the state, and I'm working for students across this state. I'm actually go to this HBCU in the system. I go to Prairie View, and I'm an SGA president elected by the student body. So you have to realize what comes first. What's the balance between both of those? And I think that's what's important is knowing what priority. Like you have to prioritize what's important to you. And I think coming in as a freshman, you're very eager to get involved on campus. You want to get involved in multiple organizations, 5 organizations, and also sometimes because you just don't know your why. You don't know what it is that's pushing you to go through. And so I tell people all the time, know your why and be passionate about things you do. When you're passionate, it doesn't feel like work for you. Just like this conversation I'm having with you all tonight, this feels like an amazing. This is coming from the heart. It's an amazing deal because I love doing this work. This is work I admire doing. And so really, you got to put your passion and know your why. And so I think those two things really help you in the long run.
Wow, that's powerful. I love that. I love that. You said I'm coming from the heart. Get to the heart of the people before you get to the head of the people. Sardis said toxicity is a disease that affects your personality. Therefore, people who are in your circle that tend to be negative about you and your identity, leave them as fast as a supersonic jet.
Get up and walk out. Get up and walk out.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? Do that again. I like that. We need to do. Hey, that needs to be a challenge. That needs to be a challenge. You know what that means? What does that mean? That means I'm about to jet. And I don't need no fuel. Boom. I'm about to jet, and I don't need no fuel. So, Kennedy, talk to me about balance, because many people on college campuses in general and HBCUs, right, in particular, right? What is it about this balance thing? Talk to me about that balance.
I think one of the main things when I talk to underclassmen, the first thing that I tell them is you're a student first. Before anything, before a student athlete, before a student leader, you are a student. So that's what we're here for, because ultimately we're here to get a degree. We're here to graduate and go out into the world and be successful. So I think like JD said, hopefully I said it right, JD, like JD said, prioritizing what's the most important thing, because personally the degree is the most important thing to me. I got to get that degree before I get out of here. So one, and also because as a student leader, even if your grades aren't right, you're not going to be able to lead effectively anyway, because your positions are going to be taken away from you, right? So I think making sure that your academics are in line, that's one of the main things. And then also when it comes with balance, like you were saying, knowing when to say no, knowing when to take a break. I think at HBCUs, something that makes it so special is the social aspect of it. I don't think people really understand how different it is to socially interact on an HBCU campus, because everybody looks like you, right? So the socialization is top tier, but knowing when to shut up to go and get in them books, or when to put that phone down and go do that work and go to that study group. So I think just understanding that you're here to get your degree first, I think that will put a lot of things into perspective for HBCU students regarding, okay, let me prioritize this much time, let me prioritize that much time. And I think also having a planner, sitting out and planning your day and what's the most important. That's what I do. I have a calendar beside me right now. I got everything I got to do on there, and I go and I check it off as I go. So, I think just being organized as organized as possible, you know, as a secretary organization is kind of my thing. So being as organized as possible and just, you know, understanding you're a student first, I think those are two things that kind of really help with the balance aspect of being in college.
Yeah,
Wow.
those are some great points too. I tell people all the time as well that calendar matters, and also like, I mean, graduation for me is May 9th, and so every day I'm waking up, I'm like, how is this going to help me graduate? How is this going to help me get out of school? Like, you know, if you want me to go, if you want me to attend an event and attend a meeting, or you want me to work on a certain project, I need to understand how's that going. What's my return on investment, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm serving the student body. I am here to serve my servant leader heart, right? But I did come to school to graduate. I didn't come to school to be SGA president. I didn't come to
Hello.
school to be student regent, right? And so, I mean, our university president, Dr. LeGrand, she makes sure every single month when I meet with her, how close are we on track? How on track are we? What's the grades looking like? I mean, you have to have a GPA like you mentioned, a GPA in both roles, right? So if my GPA is not good enough, then I can't succeed. And so I mean, those are amazing factors. You hit on some amazing points.
Yeah, gotta get them grades right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. We motivate, we elevate, we educate, and we graduate. We motivate, we elevate, we educate, and we graduate. Oh, I'm loving y'all. Listen, y'all, I can hang with y'all all night because this is what Black brilliance looks like. You don't have to go to a dictionary. I have Black brilliance on the platform tonight from Prairie View A&M University and the Tuskegee University. I'm talking about from Alabama to Texas, okay? From Alabama to Texas, from Texas to Alabama. You understand? Quay is in the building. Quintessential Quay. You understand? I got Kennedy Maxwell. When Kennedy comes to the platform, she takes it to the max and all will be well. Maxwell. That's what I'm saying, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just so fired up tonight.
Come on.
Black sense. Listen up, y'all. This is some real talk. This is some real talk, okay? And Quay, I definitely want to start with you with this. Why is it such a taboo for young Black men to exercise their mental health? Why is it so taboo for young Black men to exercise their mental health? You know, walking around not smiling, you know, always got to be hard all the time. Talk to me about that, because I have my ideas about that, but I want to hear from you and Kennedy. I want to hear your perspective as a young Black man, and then I want to hear Kennedy's perspective as a young Black female, a young Black woman, a promising princess. Talk to me about that and mental health as it relates to young Black men, okay?
Yeah, I mean, this talk right here is, man, it just got me emotional already just thinking about the fact, like, what does it look like, you know, to be strongest one in the room all the time, right? I think growing up, at least for me, I grew up a first gen college student, raised from a single mother, was raised by my grandma and my mom, and so I grew up without my father, right? So I have two younger sisters, they're 7 and 10. So it's always you have to be the strongest one in the room. You have to take care of the family one day. You're gonna be one that's have to take care of the family one day. You're gonna be one that has to provide, right? And so I mean, for me, I know that God put me on this earth for a reason. I think sometimes all people talk about what's your God-given talent. I think for me, you know, sometimes they ask, do you play an instrument? Do you sing? What's your physical talent? I mean, I know my physical talent is to make an impact, a positive impact on someone's life every single day. So when I do leave this earth, my legacy is still on this earth and it's still here. So I know that's my purpose, right? So I'm always going to be strong because of that reason, because I know I have a talent that God instilled in me, and that's I'm going to live by that purpose every single day. But I mean, realistically, I think it's because, you know, we always have to be the strongest one in the room. When someone's, you know, you growing up, you always have to be the strongest one in the room. I have two younger sisters, protect them. So that's the stigma behind it. And I think we have to realize, again, going back to that, we have to realize ourselves and open our eyes that we don't have to be the strongest one in the room. It's okay to seek help. I mean, like I mentioned, I'm smiling all the time. I wake up with a smile on my face. My friends are always asking me, why are you smiling? Like, we're just talking about something serious and you're smiling, right? I mean, no matter what it is, I'm going to smile through the pain. I'm going to smile through it no matter what, because at the end of the day, I need to be the strongest one. I'm going to feel like, you know, I want to make sure that someone else is not feeling down because I feel down. I don't like being down around other people because that feeds the energy, right? So I'll smile in that same room when I feel down, no matter what it is. But I'll know I don't feel well, and I mean, I'll still say I don't feel well, but I don't feel well with a smile on my face, because that smile that went down to a frown because of my emotion could affect someone else. And because I'm smiling, it helps another man around me. I mean, I didn't grow up around a lot of guys. I didn't grow up around a lot of men. And so when I became a peer mentor on campus, Prairie View has a big mentorship culture on campus. So I mentioned that you get a freshman cohort of males, you get a freshman dorm, and you get 102 freshman boys that came from out of, you know, that are looking up to you as their mentor. Obviously, that number dies down as people drop out and people transfer to different schools. But my sophomore year, I became a freshman mentor. And I remember coming to college, coming to Prairie View from Florida. I came freshman year. I was very energetic, very social, but I got on this campus and I became quiet. I mean, I didn't talk to anyone. I walked around campus. I didn't smile. I was like, I don't know people. I'm in a whole different state. I don't know who you are. I'm not finna smile in your face and I don't know you. That was my perception when I first got to Texas, right? I got my first group of mentees. My first group of mentees came sophomore year. Man, those boys are tough. I mean, they used to crack jokes on me. They used to talk stuff about me all the time. Like when I walked in the room smiling, it's like, you lame, stop smiling. What you smiling for? Really playing that tough love. And I think them instilling that tough love into me, realize they allow me to be myself in that room with them. They allow me to be myself. They allow me to they call me lame. They as a student leader, if you're a male student leader, sometimes you too lame. You're not playing on sports. You just leading. You SGA president. You're not doing nothing that's not popular. It's not really nothing that's powerful. That's some students see it like that, right? And so I have to walk on my head held high every single day, no matter what it is, right? I'm a man. I have emotions. I know how it feels to be emotional, but also pour that into other people. I mean, for those boys that poured into me, I was their mentor. And they poured into me as their mentor, and they made me a better leader. And so because of them, I'm a great leader. I'm a great SGA president, and I'm able to do the same right now. My whole team right now on SGA, my executive officer to the president, my special assistant, my counsel to the president, they're my mentees from last year. Those boys are sophomores right now, and they're running the 44th administration, running half of SGA, and they're able to operate and they're able to lead in the same way I taught them how to lead. But they know, and it's so inspiring because they have their own mentees right now. They have their own mentees, and some of them have female mentees. And so to watch them feel vulnerable about their mentees, to watch them feel vulnerable and care about the others they're serving, it makes me feel good. It makes me know that I did something well. But I mean, there's a stigma that you have to be the strongest one in the room. You don't have to be the strongest one in the room. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a boxer. God didn't make me. He didn't put me on the earth to be a boxer. And so I'm not going to continue to fight and fight and fight. So it's okay not to feel okay. And it's okay not to feel well. So I think the stigma of like thinking it's okay, you have to be the strongest one in the room. But we have to understand and realize again, we have to be open-minded enough for ourselves to do our own research and seek help for ourselves and want it for ourselves is more than anyone else. No one is going to want it more for you other than yourself. So you have to want it for yourself as well. And you have to be able to seek help. You have to seek people that's going to help you out. I mean, I know my friends I can call when I need to vent. I know who I can call and scream at or yell at and go crazy on the phone with, right? I mean, you said you scream in the pillow. No, I scream out loud in the SGA office. When they hear a scream come out of the SGA office, the president office, they know something's going on. Ask my friends. I scream. I don't, I'm going to let it out. And so I think it's about understanding that it's okay not to be okay. But again, I'm going to wake up with a smile on my face and you're going to see me go to sleep with a smile on my face. And they're going to know that even through the midst of me, through my day, when I was down, I still smiled, I still persevered, I still was strong. But I don't have to be. You don't have to be. And I think you have to realize that you don't have to be the strongest one in the room.
I love that. I love that message about you don't have to be the strongest one in the room. And I'm going to look directly at my nephews out there. Young Black males, real men do cry. Real men do cry. We were born human, but it takes effort to be humane. And to be humane means that you can release. And you have to put yourself around other young Black males where you feel safe enough to cry. As Uncle Keith here, I have a village of Black men that I hug, that I cry with, that we lean on each other, that we'll sit on the therapist's couch with each other. I think that's so powerful. I allowed my son to cry on that couch with me. All right. And he knows that. And we shared that together. One of the most powerful moments that my son and I shared when he was growing up was sitting on the couch of our therapists, loving on each other, comforting each other. And my son has grown into an awesome man of excellence who now mentors, other young people who are underrepresented. And he's an honors graduate of the Savannah State University, another powerful HBCU, my alma mater. And so I love what Quay said. He said, you don't have to be strong all the time. So I want you to start breaking that down because you might have heard that all of your life. Be strong. You're a real man. No, manhood is not defined by how strong you can be all the time. Manhood should be defined by how compassionate you can be, how much empathy you have. So young Black men tuning in, listening in on campus, I challenge you to give a brother a hug day. You understand? Have that on your campus at Prairie View, at Tuskegee, at Savannah State, at all HBCUs.
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Do it tomorrow. That's right.
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Do it tomorrow at your camp. Give a brother a hug day. Or can a brother get a hug? That's what y'all need to be doing. Walking up to each other saying, hey, can a brother get a hug? All right? Because that's what real Black manhood is about. It's not about toxic masculinity or being strong all the time. And Kennedy, I'm coming to you right now, Kennedy. So don't you lose that thought. Quay, because I don't want to lose this thought. Quay, I love what you said, that you had other young black males talking about what sport do you play? But no, listen, we are not a monolithic, okay? We do everything that's great. You might have some that are playing sports, that's great. Some that are playing music in the band, that's great. Some of them are on the debate team. Some of them are wrestling. Whatever they're doing, that's great. So Quay said, my superpower is to lead. And that's so very important. So whatever you have, young black men, use it. Don't be afraid to cry. And guess what? Can a brother get a hug? Institute that. Implement that on your campus. Tell them Uncle Keith told you with historically black sense. Can a brother get a hug? All right, Kennedy. Now you're a young black woman, Kennedy. All right. Now you heard Quay's perspective as a young black man because he's walking in it. Mm-hmm. What do you see from the outside looking in as it relates to young black men? Okay, mm-hmm. And this whole stigma of mental health. Talk about it and being strong and all of that. Talk about it, Kennedy.
Yeah, I think one thing that a lot of young black men need to recognize, and young black women too, is that there's strength in vulnerability. A lot of times we think that, being vulnerable is a sign of weakness, that, I just can't handle it. But you feeling comfortable enough to really feel all of the things, that's one of your greatest strengths, because that's how you connect with other people, and that's how you connect with yourself. So I think by just being honest with yourself, letting yourself feel all the things, and being okay, not trying to suppress it, but actually letting, like you said earlier, Uncle Keith, release, like let it go, just let it out, because you'll be a much more you'll be a kinder human being. You'll be a more successful human being once you're more in tune with the way you're really feeling, because that's how you can make the best decisions for yourself. So I think just understanding that, vulnerability is strength. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've observed from young black men, that they just don't realize that. So I think once we get to a space where, we see that, mental health will become a much more, less taboo conversation among our black men.
I love that. I love that. Two things I'm going to give y'all tonight that y'all can institute at Prairie View A&M University and Tuskegee University and all HBCUs. I'm going to give y'all this. Number one, Manhood Mondays. Manhood Mondays, okay? And Manhood Monday. And Manhood Monday might encompass give a brother a hug. Manhood Monday, where you see there's an emphasis on young black men dressing to impress, right? Manhood Monday, where you're walking around not dressed for the position you want, but dressing like you already have it. Manhood Monday. We want to see that. We want to see that Manhood Monday at all of our HBCUs. And we want to see that every day, but the target, we have to have that bullseye, that focus. Manhood Monday. And whatever that looks like to you, Quay, and all of you SGA presidents out there in the land, for Manhood Monday on your campus, you go ahead and implement that, where we elevate those young men on your HBCU campus. That's what Uncle Keith wants to see. That's what historically black sense wants to see. And Kennedy, I can't leave out the promising princesses. And so at Tuskegee and all other HBCUs around the country, and guess what? What's going to be good about tonight is Quay is going to be the catalyst for this. Kennedy is going to be the catalyst for this. Quay is going to be the catalyst for Manhood Monday. And Kennedy is going to be the catalyst, watch this, for Wow Wednesday. There's that wow again. But watch this. This doesn't stand for worthy of wellness, but it can. But for this particular moment, WOW stands for Women of Worth Wednesday. Women of Worth Wednesday. How can we elevate our young women on the campus? What can we do? What activities can we put in place to elevate our young women, okay? To dress for not only success, but significance. Because a lot of times success means you have your own money, your own cars, your own homes, your own land, and you feel I'm successful. You understand? But I don't just want us to be successful, because it's not about individuality at HBCUs. We take our individual greatness and we merge with others, and we have collective impact, collective influence. So this is not an individual thing without connecting to the greater community. So it's Women of Worth Wednesdays, Manhood Monday, where individuals come together, and then we have a collective of Black brilliance, Black excellence, Black culture, Black mental health awareness. And that's when we can soar. So now we're not only successful Black people, we become what? Significant. See, when you're successful, a lot of times it's the individuality of it. And I'm not saying don't be successful, but what I'm saying is don't stay at success. Move to significance, because when you're significant, then you uplift others. When you are significant, you're all about community. When you are significant, you're all about the collective. And when we start being about the collective, then we all rise together. And when you rise together, that's the ultimate leadership. That's the ultimate form of protecting our mental health. So Kennedy, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with that Women of Worth Wednesday? Kennedy, give me an example of what that looks like to you, Kennedy. Wow Wednesday, Women of Worth Wednesday. Kennedy, what pops in your mind when you think about Women of Worth Wednesday?
When I think of Women of Worth, I think about, us, just a group of young women getting together and really just encouraging one another. So whether that be through affirmations, whether that just be like, girl, you got this. Like, as you know, the semester's coming to the close. We're finna hit finals week. To me, that looks like, girl, you got this. You're going to ace this final exam. You're going to make it through. You're going to graduate. So I think just having a moment with one another where we're genuinely supporting each other. I think work is all about, value added. So I think adding value into each other's lives, adding value into each other's academic careers, adding value into each other's personal lives, I think that's all that, Women of Worth Wednesday should be about. So I think, like you said, a little dress for success, maybe something, because I know the men on our campus led by our SGA president, they did 100 men in suits. So maybe we could do 100 women in heels or something like that, just to, really just uplift the women on our campus and show them that, it's possible. Anything's possible. Y'all can make it. We can do it together.
I'm about to shout up in here. She said 100 women in heels. She said they got 100 men in suits. So we're going to put 100 women in heels. I'm loving that. Wow. Women Worth Wednesday at Tuskegee and every HBCU across the country. Kennedy is going to be the catalyst for that. Yeah. So, Quay, when you see this illustrious SGA president, I need to just start calling you president. President D. When I say that, I'm going to name it, claim it, and frame it. I'm talking about of the United States of America. Listen, when you think about Manhood Monday at Prairie View and HBCUs across the country, what pops into your mind, nephew?
First of all, it's funny because, you say, what is it, man? I think we tell our students on campus all the time, bring a suit or two that you have on campus. If not, I make my mentees very first week of school when they get here, we go to the career closet. We're going to grab a blazer and some slacks. We're going to get something, a professional item that fits you. Yeah, you can be sagging, all that sagging. You want to wear your cool chains, put your grills in. There's a moment where you need to change that because, that's not your perception all the time. That's not what you want to be recognized as. I think Manhood Monday is showing men across campus what it takes to actually be a man. You think it's about being fly all the time and being cool, but no, it's about getting in the rooms and actually making a change and making a difference. And actually wanting more for yourself and wanting more for your family. And so I think about being genuine. I said tomorrow I'm going to get my poster and give a brother a hug on it tomorrow and put hashtag, and it's going to be my lead into Manhood Monday. I'm doing that tomorrow in front of the student center because you never know what it is, right? It might be, like I mentioned 2 weeks ago, I got one of my own mentees that's gone from this earth right now because he didn't have that man in his life. He didn't have the opportunity for someone to be there for him. And so, it's very important for you to be there. And so I think it's about showing them what a man really looks like. And this is like walking your purpose and knowing who you are and whose you are. That's Manhood Monday.
That's deep. That's deep. And even as a leader for your generation, who you all call Uncle Keith, I've been called to be an armor bearer, not a pallbearer. Okay. And so I'm just tired of lifting the dead weight. I'm called to be an armor bearer. And that's what you all have been tonight. You have been armor bearers tonight, not just for your two great institutions, not just for Black America, but the world. There were some global ideas on this platform tonight. There were some global answers on this platform tonight. And as we, prepare, because I don't want to leave. I wish I could spend the entire night. I wish we could just have a sleepover right here at Historically Black Sense. We might do that. You understand? We might, listen to me. Y'all, we might have a Historically Black Sense sleepover.
We
where
can call,
we just
we can do
all night, huh?
We can do a 24-hour stream. We can do a 24-hour stream, and you have different presidents come on at different times, different leaders come on at different times of the hour. So
come on now.
We can make something work.
Yeah, listen, my founder is back there. She's thinking about this. I know that the wheels are turning right now. I like that 24-hour streaming, right? Historically Black Sense, where we have SGA presidents and SGA leaders, and the royal courts coming on at different times. I'm talking about a marathon. Nipsey talked about the Black Marathon. You feel me? Y'all know what it is.
Marathon.
Yes, I'm feeling it right now. So, listen, this has been powerful. In a word, this has been powerful. And I want you all to write this quote down, okay? Because I want to ask you this question before we go, all right? I want to ask this question because I feel it's so important. So I have a quote, an original quote that says, "Don't lease your peace. Don't lease your peace." Kennedy, when you think about that, because I tell people all the time, when you lease something, right, you're taking it on for a certain period of time, okay? But when it comes to your peace of mind, you can't even give that away for a second. So when you think about the quote, "Don't lease your peace," what comes to mind, Kennedy?
When I think about that, I think about just making yourself a priority, and understanding that it's not selfish, it's actually self-sustaining when you do it. So I think that, just understanding that, sometimes you just have to prioritize you. You come first. A lot of times we put so many other people before ourselves, so many people's needs before ourselves, that we forget about ourselves. So I think taking those moments, like self-care is more than just a bubble bath or getting your nails done or getting your hair done. Self-care is about really reflecting and seeing what areas, where the dead weight is that you might need to cut off. Where could you grow at? Where could you do better at? And also just maintaining your peace. So yeah, don't lease your peace. You got to hold on to that thing. We are not renting it out, but we are owning it. So yeah, so just making sure your peace is yours and that nobody can take it from you.
Kennedy,
Well said.
Point, that was well said. Kennedy said, "We're not renting it, we're owning it." Oh, yes. Kennedy up in here. Look, I got to get both of y'all in the position for more program, man. Position for more leadership program, and working with Historically Black Sense. And we definitely got to have y'all two back. Because we want this passion. Y'all came with that passion. Y'all came with that fire up in here. Make me want to just do this, y'all. Look at me. I'm just look. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Let me do it right. Hey, yeah. So, Quay, nephew, when you hear the quote, "Don't lease your peace," what comes to mind?
The first thing that comes to mind is that person that's in your ear that's also asking to borrow something. Let me borrow this. Let me borrow that. For the past year, I get people that ask to borrow something. I'm like, I can't let you borrow nothing. I got nothing for you to borrow. And I have no return. There's no return on it either. And so I think that's the first thing I think of, was like, you can't borrow my peace. You can't. I told you I'm gonna get up and walk out. So before I try to give you some of my peace, to try to get up and walk out, I'm gonna get up and walk out and take all of my peace with me. And so that's what I hear. That's exactly what I hear when I hear that quote. Don't lease your peace. You can't give them your time. You can't borrow it either.
Wow. GOODJOB. Good job. Good job. So y'all know I did those 4 affirmations tonight. Y'all, those 4 affirmations are: I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm a genius. I know that. When we do that together, I know it might be a little lapsing, but I want to do that with y'all on 3. We're going to do: I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm a genius.
Wow. Let's bring out so much moments.
2, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. I love myself. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself. And I'm a genius. Yeah.
Wow.
This is Historically Black Sense, the premier platform. Everything HBCU, Black brilliance, Black excellence, Black culture. Tuskegee University was in the building tonight. Prairie View A&M University is in the building tonight. And Kennedy, listen, Kevin Napier said, most of the time I look inside and I find the answers I want. He said that I've been waiting. He said, Nipsey Hussle, I love that. Kevin, thank you for joining us. Thank everybody for joining us. And Kennedy, I want you to have the last word, and then Quay is going to have the last word, and then I'm going to close us out. Listen, I'm so grateful for your presence tonight. And remember this, everybody who's watching, your presence is a present in the present, and that makes you a gift. Your presence is a present in the present, and that makes you a gift. Kennedy, I want you to give your final word, Quay, and then I want y'all to tell everybody where they can follow y'all. I want them to know where they can follow y'all, because the first question I asked was, right, what traits do you have as a leader that makes you worthy of being followed? Both of you are worthy of being followed. So, Kennedy, your last word. Give all of your social media so everybody can follow you. Let's go.
Well, firstly, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be on this call. I enjoyed myself. There were so many nuggets dropped tonight that I will be taking with me. But last words from me, just prioritize yourself. I think that's been the lesson of the night, and that's a lesson that, I'm still learning as a leader. But just taking the time for yourself. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to take a moment and, surround yourself with the people around you who genuinely have your best interests at heart. So don't feel ashamed about it. Don't feel discouraged about it, but, feel strength in that and see the strength in taking a moment and really prioritizing your mental state. So I love y'all. I had a great time, and y'all can follow me on Instagram at maxwell.kennedy. So it's just my name with the period, and it's like flipped backwards. But yeah.
Wow. I love that. Oh, give me that again. Maxwell.
Kennedy, Kennedi.
Kennedi. Kennedy came, and there's no need to ask why. Kennedy came, and now you're feeling high. Hey. Kennedy took you all the way to the sky. Kennedy, she never fell. What's the last name? It is Maxwell. Hey. Yeah. See, that helps my mental health, being able to connect with my nieces and nephews, millions across the country at HBCU. Quay, come on, nephew, bring it. I met this young man when he was in middle school, over a decade ago. George Washington Carver Middle School in Orlando, Florida. Your last word, and tell them where they can follow you. Oh, and before you do that, Kennedy, what is the SGA's Instagram? Because we want to follow you and the SGA. What is y'all IG at SGA for Tuskegee University?
Yeah, so our Instagram handle is at Tuskegee SGA. Very simple.
Okay.
So just Tuskegee SGA.
Yeah, at Tuskegee SGA. I love that. Follow Kennedy. Follow at Tuskegee SGA. Nephew Quay, he came this way. He can't stay. When you see him, say hey. Yeah, you understand? Yeah, he's about to graduate in May. Yeah,
let's get it.
Come on now. Boy, you must be a lifeguard, nephew, because I see those waves. Okay? You must be a lifeguard because I see those waves. Go ahead, nephew, drop it on.
I just want to say thank you so much again for inviting me. I think this is a great full circle moment. I know you mentioned we made way back in middle school. Before I even knew what college I was going to go to, before I knew I was going to end up in the state of Texas. So I'm very grateful to you and Historically Black Sense for giving me the platform to come on here and just share my passion. I think the fact that I'm able to share this inspire people from around the globe and around the nation. Before I finish, I wanted to show this little picture real quick. This is us back in middle school. I wanted to show this picture real quick, and I wanted to say this is just full circle moment. It makes me feel really emotional to know that I'm walking in God's purpose and His divine appointment over my life. So I'm in the right space, and so I'm grateful for that. My advice to those out there is don't be discouraged. Just know that it takes time to get where you are. I mean, you said over a decade ago we met, and look where we at again. I'm an SGA president on campus. I was an SGA president in middle school in the 8th grade when we met the first time. So I mean, you walk in a divine alignment. Never give up on yourself, and know that you're worth it of yourself. Know that it's okay not to be okay, and therapy is a thing. Another thing I want to leave you is that you are worthy. You are worthy of whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve that. You can follow me on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Look me up on the web at Jaquavius Doucette. You can search my name up, Jaquavius Doucette. You can find me on every platform: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those, and Jaquavius Doucette. I do serve as the 44th Student Government Association president at Prairie View A&M University, and on behalf of SGA at PVMU, thankful, we're grateful that we're able to be here and share some of our insight. Shout out to my amazing team that's out there was watching tonight. Some of them was tuned in tonight. I'm grateful for y'all's support. And again, that's who I am, Jaquavius Doucette, the 44th Student Government Association president at Prairie View A&M University, and the 20th student regent for the Texas A&M University system. I get to represent students across 12 member institutions in the state of Texas, as well as my own HBCU at Prairie View A&M University. Grateful to be here. Thank y'all so much, Mr. Keith and Uncle Keith, and thank you so much to Historically Black Sense for the night. This is a great conversation. I was grateful and glad to be here.
Man, that's a GOODJOB. Good job, good job. You and Kennedy did it. Y'all put it down, and it was so amazing and poignant. It was amazing. It was so amazing. Give us Prairie View A&M's SGA page as well.
Yeah, so you can find us at PVAMU SGA. We have one of the best SGA pages on there. I'm telling you, my team, my social media team does an amazing job. I'm not to bash no other, other schools page, but our team does an amazing job. So I'm very grateful for what they do over there. I'm a communications major, so marketing is my thing. The way we present ourselves is my thing. The way we message to the student body is my thing. And so you can follow us at PVMU SGA. We make sure that it be interactive. Follow us and give us a like or comment. We appreciate that.
Hey, listen, everybody. For all of you watching out there, this is Historically Black Sense. I am Keith L. Brown, Mr. Impossible, known by millions of young people and young adults as Uncle Keith. This has been an evening of elevation and empowerment, an evening of elevation and empowerment right here. Kennedy Maxwell did it with the Tuskegee University. Quay, JD, Justified and Determined. My nephew, Prairie View A&M University. We are so grateful. Go ahead and make sure you follow Historically Black Sense and encourage everybody to do likewise. You can follow me on Instagram at Keith L. Brown _, Instagram, Keith L. Brown _, and TikTok, Facebook, Keith L. Brown 1911. Shout out to the brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. You know, we had Founders Day a couple of days ago. So just shout out to all of you. We love you. There's Kennedy. She's back. She never left. Thank you so very much. Thank you for tuning in. It was all about leadership tonight. It was all about mental health. GOODJOB. Good job. Good job. Until the next time, be empowered, not devoured. We love you. HBCU pride. Forever. Historically Black Sense. We out. Peace.
Have a great night. Go Panthers. Have a great night, y'all.